of kings and Lord of lords. King of kings and Lord of lords. King of kings and Lord of lords. King of kings and Lord of lords. Oh Lord my God, you are the great I am.
Good morning. Welcome back, everybody. I trust you are ready to take this to the next level. All right, Karibu Sana. Welcome. Now we are going to, so in the last session, so talking of loops, I said we get into loops primarily, because of the way we think, our mindsets. And I went on to break down exactly what we mean by mindsets. Establish the fact that the thinking that kept you in the loop is not the thinking that will get you out. There's a reason why when people win the lottery, okay, when people win the lottery, majority of them within a 3-year period, they are back, not only back to where they were, but worse than how they were before they won the lottery. And that's because the mindset that kept them in poverty is not the mindset that will help them manage wealth. Oh, is somebody hearing me today? So a loop is a repeated pattern sustained by a repeated way of thinking. And I believe we got that. Okay? And that's why people pray. God has answered, but there's no physical manifestation because they have prayed, so they are stirred up spiritually. God has answered, but nothing has changed because they come out of the prayer with the same thinking. Let me give you an example. I have noticed there are people who have a donor mindset. What do I mean by that? They are always receiving. So let me give you an example. Even if they have money to do certain things, they are always looking for who will do it for them. There are kind of people that get into a bus or something. You meet someone you know there, and you delay paying, hoping that person will pay for you. Go to a restaurant, meet someone you know, and your first line of thought is not to offer a hand, but it's to delay, hoping somebody will pay for you. When you see in your mindset, in your thinking, you have positioned yourself always to receive, to be on the receiving end. Do you know what? This is terrible, what I'm about to say. Such people will always be on the receiving end. Is somebody hearing me? They will always be on the receiving end. That's a terrible place to be. But you know why that is happening? It's a mindset. It's a mindset that somebody must always do it for me. It's a mindset. Now, so such a person has prayed. Such a person has prayed They've prayed intensely. I mean, I think Saturday is our covenant day of victory. So we have our 6-hour prayer, 12 to 6, coming up next Saturday. They've prayed, but they still come down with the mentality of the begging bowl. Somebody has to do it for me. And when that happens, you've prayed for your breakthrough, you've done all that, you come down with that mentality, you have just canceled everything you prayed about. Because no prayer can override the permission. That's why Jesus said, your faith has made you whole. Boy, are you hearing me today? And this has been the challenge with a lot of Africa and a lot of people. So even if you have it, and this is the point, this is what shows, even if you have it, you are waiting for who can do it for you. So you save a few pennies. Mm-hmm. Somebody hearing me today? And that's a mindset. In fact, I wasn't planning to go in this direction, but now that we have started here, I think we can go in this direction. I think we can go in this direction. There is a difference between being thrifty and being cheap. Are you hearing me today? There is a difference between thrifty and being cheap. Being thrifty is wisdom. Being cheap is a mindset. Thrifty is the ability to manage resources carefully, intentionally, intelligently. Cheapness, on the other hand, you are totally not able to properly value what matters. So the thrifty person thinks in terms of value. The cheap person thinks in terms of pennies, what they're going to say. Are you hearing me today? I like bargains. Hey, and I'm a hard bargainer. Are you hearing me today? But many people are caught in the loop of smallness because they are cheap. Yet they think they are being thrifty. The thrifty person is governed by wisdom. The cheap person is governed by fear. The thrifty person will ask, how do I get maximum value from this? The cheap person says, how do I spend the least no matter the consequences? Just find me the cheapest thing you can get. Is somebody hearing me today? And again, I understand where people are coming from. When you've come from, I came from being walloped by poverty. Are you hearing me? Not as a child, in my adult life. So there is a tendency to want to keep all you can keep. All right? To want to keep all you can keep. But it doesn't work that way. During the break, Taiwo was giving me the breakdown of what we have given to orphans. And it's phenomenal. And what caught my attention when she gave me that breakdown was even in times when things were not flowing like we would have wanted them to flow, we were still giving to those orphans. Are you hearing me? The thrifty person will ask, how do I get maximum value? Like I said, and the cheap person says, just get me the cheapest. We're not thinking of consequences. So one is strategic, one is short-sighted. And it's a mindset. It is a mindset that I'm going to be thrifty because I understand some things. I'll rather pay for them because they will save time. They will preserve, the quality, Let me give you a simple example. My example, and I'm not telling anyone to do it, but this is my example. I enjoy driving, but when I'm going around, I don't drive. Why? Because when I go into town, the time it will take me to look for parking, the time it will take me in traffic, the stress on my mind in traffic and all that, I will get to my meeting stressed. So for me, and you identify your own, for me, it is always an investment. Have a driver who knows where I'm going. So I sit at the back of my car. I am working. I am making calls. Look, we traveled and I was working on a particular book for one of our authors. I finished that book in the car. Are you hearing me? Now, so the money I would pay, I've paid my driver every month. It's an investment to make me more efficient. Are you hearing me today? It's an investment that makes me more efficient. Now, I've had people say, oh, why do you need to pay a driver? You know how to drive. Cheap. Because cheapness only sees cost. It never sees consequence. Are you hearing me today? So being cheap is not a financial strategy. It's not a financial strategy. It is a revelation of an inner poverty mindset. Because a cheap person with a cheap mindset may save money in the moment, but will lose more. Are you hearing me today? And this is why some people stay in loops that contain their greatness. So this cheapness I'm talking is an expression of a mindset. Are you hearing me today? I was at Serena Hotel the other day. It was raining and nobody was there. And people are, you have thought all day at work. You are making mind decisions, strategic decisions. You will spend 40,000, 30,000 every week at a bar. Okay? You spend that amount and then you cannot pay a driver to drive you because you think it's a waste of money. So that's what I'm saying. Mindset is how you think about what you know. So you spend 120,000 a month on alcohol. These are figures. These are real people I know. 120,000 a month on alcohol. Are you hearing me? A fraction of that, you cannot pay a driver. So it was raining. I see this, my guy, he's waiting, oh, the rain. Wale, can you carry me to where my car is? I don't even know. Yeah. Are you hearing me? I just started laughing. The cheap buy the cheapest, but they will pay for it repeatedly. It looks like caution, but underneath is the fear. It is a scarcity mindset. A thrifty person preserves value. A cheap person is trying to avoid cost. Let me give you some practical examples. Let's look at clothes. I wasn't planning to go down this road, but since we are there, we might as well go. Let's look at clothes. Thrifty. You buy fewer clothes. You buy good quality. It lasts. It fits you well. Serves you. Cheap. You look for the cheapest, lowest priced quality available. The fabric is poor. The fit is bad, but it is the cheapest. So you buy it. Are you hearing me? Now, Evelyn, it's okay. Are you hearing me? You still buy it because it's the cheapest. Now, you go out, you lack confidence because you know you are wearing the cheapest thing possible. Everybody looks at you and knows you are wearing the cheapest thing possible. We can see, are you hearing me? The confidence and everything that would have come by being thrifty, getting good quality, you miss it. Are you hearing me? And I will still be using my good quality things. You would have replaced your cheap things over and over. So guess what? If we look at it 2 years down the line, you have spent more than me. Is somebody hearing? It's mindset too. So my thrifty self, I will get a good deal, it's good quality, and it's durable. But that cheap person keeps replacing. Let's look at it. Those of you who hire, when it comes to hiring, there was a time when we could not hire. You know, at the beginning of a business, many times it is who is available. So availability is more important. It's the most important thing. So you bring who can do this, who can do this, who can do this. I wrote that in my book, Evolution of Enterprise. But as the business begins to grow, availability must give way to ability. Now, at that point, if you are no more hiring what is just available, you are hiring the right skills. Somebody hearing me? Hiring the right skills. So thrifty says, I will pay more, but I will get the best quality. I will get competent hands that will help me grow my brand. Okay? Cheap, we don't want to waste money. I can do it myself. Are you hearing me? I can do it myself. Or you look for the cheapest. Then, down the line, what do you see? down the line, you will see that that cheap person you brought on board has cost you more. It has diminished your brand. It has diminished your value. People, are you hearing me today? Let me tell you my own example. There was a time I used to do all my posts myself. I went to learn CapCut. I learned Canva. I learned everything. It was good to learn. Okay? But then I looked at myself. I said, wait, my job in this company, I'm a visionary, I'm a strategic thinker. If I spend all my time designing on Canva for a book cover, doing the layout of a book, and I'm doing it myself, what time will I have to even write the book? Is somebody hearing me? So I hire somebody who is so good. So I could sit down and be editing everything myself. But that is a valuable waste of my time. So I have a team of editors who are paid well. So what do we have? I maintain my strategic focus, and the system is working. And my team online, the kind of things they have been putting up. I remember during the Mother's Day thing, one of our authors in Liberia reached out and said, oh, you guys, what you did on Mother's Day for us, but because they posted. Sometimes I'm scrolling and I see a beautiful post and I'm like, this is so nice. Then I see it is us. Hey. Are you seeing? And that's why I say these are the people that make me look brilliant in public. But you insist on doing everything yourself because you want to save money. So you lose two ways. You are not able to free your mind to think greater things, and then you have lost valuable time doing what other people can do for you. Are you hearing me today? A thrifty person is managing cost. The cheap person sacrifices progress. The thrifty person manages cost, but the cheap person sacrifices progress, sacrifices brand. At this stage of our operations, I can no longer afford to be looking for the cheapest editor, the cheapest designer, the cheapest. I can't. Is somebody hearing me today? So now I am free to pray without thinking of, I've not done that layout. I've not done. Are you hearing me today? I am free to research. I am free to do other things without any loss of brand value. A thrifty person, yes, we watch payroll, but a cheap person will strangle productivity. Cheapness says, you can do it yourself, or cheapness overtasks people. Are you hearing me? Cheapness will overtask some of that. Look, we don't need this. Let this person say, you can do this. Oh yeah, do this. You can do this. Fine. You can do it. So you now load one person with the job of three people. You load one person with a job of 3 people. That is not thriftiness. That is cheap. And it is a mindset. Are you hearing me today? Same thing when it comes to delegation. A thrifty person would delegate strategically because your time must be reserved for high value work. Cheap, you insist on doing all those low level tasks yourself. I was at a function some time ago and there was a problem with the sound system. Listen, and the CEO got up and went to the mixer. You know me. When the CEO came, I said, if you continue doing that, you won't last. Within 6 months, that CEO was no more in that position. Are you hearing me? Because you don't want to pay good people to do it. So you keep the entire organization trapped in smallness because of your mindset, or the entire department, or the entire family. And it's sad because a lot of people are passing down a cheap mindset to their children. Very cheap mindset. And so that's why you can have first generation, second generation, third generation, all of them are poor, all of them are struggling, all of them are contained. They go to the same kind of, it's passed down. Is somebody hearing me today? A wise person values time. Are you hearing me? A cheap person, look, a thrifty person values money, but also values time. But the cheap person values money and wastes time. So you are saving money, but you are squandering capacity. You are diminishing your brand. You are doing. Is somebody hearing me? So if you find yourself, you need to ask yourself, am I thrifty or am I cheap? One is strategic decision. The other is a mindset. And it's the offshoot of a poverty mindset. Are you hearing me today? So the cheap person is so obsessed with holding on to that little. So they never position themselves for more. And so what they do, all their decisions are protecting that little. That's what they do. I prophesy in the name of Jesus, everybody under the sound of my voice, there's an explosion coming in your life. There is an explosion coming in your life because you just realize how you got into the loops you are in. You just realize how you got into the loops and you say, enough is enough. For how long do we continue to play small? For how long do we continue to be cheap in our thinking? I am very thrifty. I am very, very thrifty. Let me tell you something. In our company, in my house, everybody insults me for my phone. Because my phone, let me tell you, my phone, I bought it in many years ago, 2018. It was the top of the phone range at that time. It has served me. I see people who have bought iPhone this, iPhone that, the current one. They have used 4 or 5 phones. Don't look at me. They have used 4 or 5 phones since I started using this my own that they are making fun of. Yet with this my phone, I record content. I do all sorts. Are you hearing me today? Because it is serving me. I don't need to impress anybody. I don't need to impress anybody that I have. No, this is Samsung Galaxy. What are you talking? I don't need to impress anybody. So it's working for me. That's not cheap. Are you hearing me? Because it's working well, does not add to my value. I was watching Bishop Oyedepo the other day, and he was using a Kabambe phone. Those are the old, pure water phones. Are you hearing me? And I said, I understand that the phone does what it's supposed to do. So I'm not going to go and point all that. I want to have the latest phone. I want to have, when it is time to change this phone, don't get me wrong, and this is the thing. When it is time to change this phone, I will buy the best phone I can get. The best Samsung I can get. But I know it will serve me for a long time. That is thriftiness. I love me here, you people. She's laughing that it will serve me for another 10 years. Are you hearing me? So I'm going to go and look for some very, very cheap phone that 3 months from now, it is overheating. Are you hearing me? I will get a good one. Oh, there we go. Timothy has said in the market, these Kabambe phones carry the highest M-Pesa balances. Are you hearing? So I want you to understand, I'm not under any pressure to impress anybody with the phone I'm using. Now, the cheap person will go and do everything to get iPhone 17 Pro Max. Is there anything like that? Cheap person will do everything to get that, and then, how can you be using iPhone 17 Pro Max and you don't have airtime? There is a problem with that equation. You don't have airtime. I was watching, Jennifer, did you watch the video somebody put on our group? It was so sad about this guy that's posing on Instagram with Rolexes and all that. Then somebody saw it and began to chat him up on IG, and one day, beautiful girl, chatting up, then they show up, she shows up in his house with a friend of hers. The guy is on the roof right now, he's so excited, when they are having a drink, they spike his drink. Once he's knocked out, 2 guys come in that were waiting outside. They stab the boy to death, take the Rolex, take everything. They were arrested. The sad part of it, the Rolexes were fake. They were fake. He died for nothing. Why do you need to impress people? Haba. It was in the UK. Yes, Jennifer. It was in the UK. That is cheap. That is cheap. The fact that you're even going to look for a fake Rolex is a mindset. Are you hearing me today? You look for a fake iPhone or compromise to get an iPhone, and then you don't have airtime. Abba. You cannot, so going back to this, you cannot afford a cheap mindset, guys. With the things God wants to do for us, they cannot reach us with a cheap mindset. No. You cannot be saving pennies and losing destiny. You cannot. All right? Because let me tell you something. If your mindset cannot recognize value, it will always reject the opportunities that can move you forward in life. Are you hearing me? Let me give you a very simple thing. We were staying in an apartment. Nice. Okay. I felt it was time to move. And where we moved to was a very solid area. Now, by virtue of being there, we were able to meet a whole new set of people. We were able to entertain a lot and all that. And I'm telling you, that singular move, it was a strategic investment that has opened up my life to even what things we're able to do today. Are you hearing me? A time comes, ladies and gentlemen, when you have to become tired of cheap. The cheap person says, I saved money. But the thrifty person says, at what cost? Did you save money and lose time? Did you save money and lose quality? Did you save money and lose credibility? Did you save money and lose momentum? Are you hearing me today? Did you save money and lose scale? You just stay small. And can I tell you the truth? You did not save money. You postponed payment. That's what you did. So you're trying to save money. You dump the work of 3 people on 1 person. A day will come, that person will just not show up because they've had enough. Then what do? You're in trouble. That means 3 people technically have not showed up for work. Are you hearing me? It will happen. Yet, you could have avoided it. You don't delegate because you don't want to pay. Get rid of that mindset. Otherwise, you will never grow. Is somebody hearing me today? You want the cheapest version of everything. And then you now wonder why you stayed small. Let me give you an example. When Jesus was arrested, the people that arrested him, that were going to kill him, they looked at his coat. The Bible describes it, how fine it was. Those people that were going to kill him, they did not have the nerve to divide. They had, cast lots for they did not have the nerve to destroy his thing, his outfit. Are you hearing me? And I hear people say, oh, but Jesus rode on a donkey. How many people were riding donkeys that time? Let's just be honest. Got into a ship, to a boat to preach. Feed the 5,000 and fed them that there was extra. That's not a cheap mindset. Is somebody hearing me? That's not a cheap mindset. Jesus said in Luke 14, if you want to build a house, you sit down, you count the cost. That is being thrifty. It's planning. That's not cheap. And you do an evaluation. Are you hearing me? In Matthew 25, the servant that had 1 talent was not praised for being cheap. He said, I have saved. Here is your money. I've kept it for you. Yeah, this is it. He was condemned for his cheapness. And you know what he said? The Bible says, throw him into outer darkness, where there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So, because of his cheapness, weeping and gnashing of teeth, that is what is written about people in hell, that his life experience will be hellish because of that cheap mindset. Is somebody hearing me? John chapter 12, Mary broke the alabaster box. Judas came sounding like an economics guru. Or when there was anointing people, that this could have been used, to look after the poor. The thief always knows the value of things. You understand what I'm saying? But Jesus exposed his thinking. Oh, is somebody hearing me today? So not every refusal to spend is wisdom. And not everything that looks like overspending is waste. Mindset. Sometimes let me tell you, if I did not have a driver, I will not be as efficient as I am. I will look old. Are you hearing me? Because of the stress of looking for parking, going to the, there's just so much with it. Ability to work whenever. And so everybody look at yourself. I'm telling you the things that matter to me. So I'd rather have a driver than go and spend so much money on a new phone that the features, like Jennifer said, most people don't even use all the features they've paid for. Yet, this does all my work. Everything that I need to do, the phone still does it. Are you hearing the balance? So this cheap mindset can keep you in a loop of unfinished projects, like we talked about in the first session, because you refuse to invest in the help or the systems in the CRM. Good. We need to invest in this. They came up with all sorts of apps and things like they're investing in. That is why they are there. Are you hearing me today? The loop, this cheap mindset can keep somebody in a loop of poor quality. And with that poor quality, everybody will look at you, and because everything about you is cheap, they will conclude, and accurately so, that you are cheap. And nobody is going to offer something valuable to someone cheap. Are you hearing me? Then there's a loop of exhaustion. You're always exhausted because you want to do everything yourself. See what Timothy has written. With your typical driving speed, most of your training will be done at the nearest police station. A driver is a great idea. All right, I am not even going to comment on that one. I'm not going to comment on that one. So because of cheap mindset, you find yourself in a loop of exhaustion, always exhausted, because you would rather do everything for yourself rather than empower others and pay them to help you. So let me wrap up by saying thrift is wisdom. Cheapness is poverty thinking that is trying to disguise itself as discipline. Are you hearing me? And while thrift preserves value, cheapness will destroy your value. Let me round up by saying the cheapest option is often the most expensive journey. Let me tell you a story. It's a very sad story for me. Are you ready? Let me tell you this story. So, I had this beautiful black Range Rover Sport. Okay? I want you to listen to this story. Beautiful. Okay? My number then, I remember KCD001. Okay? So one day, my Range Rover has a problem. This was before I understood what I'm telling you. My Range Rover had a problem. This was maybe about 10 years or so ago. he had a problem. The authorized Range Rover dealer in Kenya at that time, I think it was called CMC also. Okay. So immediately I said, we're not playing games. So I told my driver, take the Range Rover to CMC so they can fix it. Then my driver came back and said, oh, there is a guy who used to work with CMC. He has started his own. And he will do it at a fraction of what CMC will do. So Wale is excited. This guy, he had a little shed somewhere. CMC is an establishment. You drive into it. You see other Range Rovers. Are you hearing me? This guy had a shed, which I discovered later. Anyway, so my driver takes it. So I begin to ask, when are they going to be done? Oh, there's a part they are expecting from Europe. Yeah. Meanwhile, CMC has all those parts. So, Then the guy says, I think I was in Mombasa. Then the guy calls me that, oh, the car is ready. We had already paid about 200,000. Now, said the car is ready. He said 700,000 is the balance. Now, you do know that could have bought another car. So he said 700, but not a Range Rover. Yes. So I think it was, you are the one I told to give them the 700,000. I think for me, I collected 700. So for me, I was so excited. My car is coming back finally. So they dropped the car. When I got back home, I couldn't wait. I was so excited. I took my Range Rover. I drove it out. It was worse than it was before it went. Do you know what? I lost that Range Rover. It was not worth it trying to do anything with it again. Why? Because I was being cheap. I was being cheap. That's why I tell people today, I don't do business with people I don't take my things to places where there is no insurance. If the CMC had messed it up, they have insurance. You can sue them. They have insurance. Are you hearing me today? That is, I think, the greatest cost in my life of being cheap. I lost. It was not being through. Do I get the best service? Even if it is more expensive, let me take it there because I know they will do a great job. So this is a personal testimony. So when I'm talking to you about being cheap, I am talking from experience. Cheapness is not always financial caution. Sometimes it is the expression of poverty mind. And like I said, you are not saving money. Many times you are just postponing a bigger loss. You are just postponing it to come. So, did you get something today? Did you get? So you cannot build a great future with a cheap mindset. You cannot build a great future with a cheap mindset. Someone can be so determined not to lose scale. Somebody hearing me? What you refuse to invest in today. I tell people, a lot of people don't invest in themselves. Yet, the investment in yourself will increase your value. The investment in yourself will increase your value. But, that money to buy a book or to invest in myself. Not every cost is a loss. Some costs are seeds. And I have learned in my own life with my Range Rover story. Isn't that my Range Rover story sad? When you are cheap in your investment, you become, you regret it in an expensive way. And that fear of spending can become the reason you never grow. Are you hearing me today? So, family, if you are cheap and cannot spend on excellence, don't be surprised when mediocrity becomes your identity. And when that happens, opportunities will be lost. So please go and think of this. Evelyn, that Range Rover story, it saddened me too. It was a solid, serious black Range Rover Sport. It saddened me. And I think it's good because as I share that story, it is a real story. It happened to me. It helps everybody understand the risk of being cheap as against being thrifty. All right. So on that note, it's a wrap. Thank you so much for your giving. It's doing wonders. Taiwo will give you more information about one of the orphanages that we have been supporting, and they're having an anniversary, and they have invited us. Okay. They've invited us. So Taiwo will give you more details and we'll do that. So thank you so much for your giving. Odipo, you remember autobiography edition. Yes, I remember when I first got that car. I was on the Expo Nairobi Southern Bypass, right? And I was stepping on it. You know the way Tim was talking, and they had just done that road. Let me tell you the story as we go. They had just done the new bypass. That road was solid. So I was driving on that road. I think Fumi and I. If I want the reason I stopped driving, anytime I was with Fumi, we got arrested. You know, Fumi was the bad influence. So we are on that bypass. I step on it. We are moving. I won't tell you how fast I was going. In front, the police were waiting for me. Yeah. So the guy stopped me. He came. He was furious because of the speed I was doing. So I put the window down. Windows of that. I begged him. I said, officer, I am sorry. I said, look at the road. Look at the car. Even if it was you, I'm sure you would have done the same thing. I'm sorry. The guy looked at me. He was laughing. He said, you are Nigerian, eh? I said, very much so. He said, just go. All right. Anyway, guys, it's been great. Have a great week and keep giving. You know, a lot of people don't give because it's a cheap mindset. If I give, what will happen? Are you hearing me? Yeah. Anyway, so have a great week. Keep winning. And I beg you, don't be cheap. All right? Examine that mindset. God bless you. You are loved. Bye.